What is up, guys? Welcome to Boomer Base. Today I am here for a brand new series, a wider frame on my webcam as well, so hopefully that looks a bit better and you can see me a bit more clearly. So today we're here to talk about Nausicaä of the Valley of the Wind. And this brand new series is going to be going through every Studio Ghibli film in order, watching them, reviewing them, seeing how they hold up or if they don't, and just giving my overall thoughts on such a wonderful company like Studio Ghibli. Now, for starters, I haven't seen every Studio Ghibli film, and the one we're starting today I hadn't watched before. So let's get into my thoughts, so let's get cracking. But before we get to the real content, if you end up liking what you see and want to see more, please subscribe and hit the bell to be notified anytime I upload. So, Nausicaä and the Valley of the Wind. What a film. What a film. So this film came out in 1984. It's the first of the Studio Ghibli films, and boy oh boy have I missed out on a film here. I'd always heard very good things, and I don't know if it's just taking a bit of getting older, really, or what. But sometimes with some sort of 80s and pre-anime, I sometimes find how old it looks a bit difficult to get into or watch, really. And it was only recently that I watched Akira for the first time. Absolutely blown away, but that's a story for a different day. Now, Nausicaä and the Valley of the Wind is to do about Nausicaä, who's from the Valley of the Wind. And she's the princess of the Valley of the Wind, and it's a sort of post-apocalyptic dystopian future where there's this forest that's very poisonous, lots of giant insects, giant monster insects and things, and it's poisoning the world. And essentially, there's some warring countries, and it's about that sort of thing. But no, the characters were very, very, very cool. You have Nausicaä, obviously. She was a really cool main character. Now, prior to watching this film, Princess Mononoke, I probably would say, is the most similar to this, for the ones that at least I've seen. In terms of there were some monsters and things and a bit more killing and some stuff like that. Some more fantasy elements, if you like. And I've only seen Princess Mononoke once. I was poorly at the time, and my partner Maddie didn't like it, so it kind of made it a bit of a tedious watch. So I didn't overly like it, but who knows upon a rewatch, really. We have Tito, who is a very cool little sort of insect. I don't even really know how to describe him. He's like a little cat bird looking thing. We have Aspel, who is one of the kids from one of the warring countries. We have Kushana, who's a sort of head boss, if you like, of one of the warring countries that's separate to Aspel. We have Lord Yupa, who's an absolute badass. And then, other than that, we have some other characters, but like the Omu are probably the other big characters in it. The Omu are some of the really, really big giant insects with like 20 eyes on them, look like a giant like beetle bug, really. But no, for a film that came out in 1984. Now, I did watch this in dub, in which I found that I enjoy Studio Ghibli films in dub and sub. I don't mind what I watch them in, but the dubs for these seem to be always quite good, at least in my opinion. If you disagree, that's totally fine. It's just comfortable to watch them in dub. I could quite happily go watch it in sub, but it was late when I watched it, and I just wanted to not have to read the subtitles at that point, being so late. I think I watched it about 3 a.m. in the morning. And it's like a 2-hour film, so the dub was the easier route for me, and I opted for that. Now, if you've watched the sub and you think it's a more superior version to the Disney dub that they did, let me know, and I'll give it a go. As I'm always happy to learn about it and things. I really like that Shia LaBeouf voiced Aspel in it. We had Patrick Stewart as Lord Yupa, which is obviously just insane, but Shia LaBeouf, I think, is such an underrated actor and voice actor as well. But a topic for another conversation another day. So, the music in the film, amazing, top tier. Just fit every moment throughout this film, during the highs, the lows, the intense bits, and the melancholic bits as well, and the heartfelt bits as well. Everything was just neat and tight, and I really enjoyed that. The animation looked very crisp, especially for 1984, and could not fault it. I don't know if it's because I watched it on Netflix, but there were some times where it looked much more crisp than some of the other bits. It's almost like they were playing two different versions, but I'm not sure what that was about really. It'll be something I have to dive into when I hopefully buy it, because I'm going to get all the physical copies of the Ghibli films on at least Blu-ray. I'll try aim for 4K, but I really don't know if they are out on 4K or available in 4K, to be honest. But again, something I'll explore at a later date. Now, the fantasy elements and the world building I thought was top notch. Each of the characters and the countries and the planes, everything in it had its own personality. All the insects, the forest, all the plants, just everything looked amazing. I'm so sad with myself that I hadn't watched this film until now. Although I'm happy in a way, because it meant that now I've been able to watch it and appreciate it a lot more. And this is probably, I think, so in terms of for this series, obviously I'll be revisiting some that I've watched, but at the moment I think it goes The Wind Rises, Howl's Moving Castle, and then The Boy and the Heron. Like, I really enjoyed The Boy and the Heron, but again, there was some, like, they all kind of fall into this bit where it's like The Wind Rises, Howl's Moving Castle are my two favourite, and then everything else to a degree just kind of falls into the same boat of like a high 8 and things. So it's very difficult. I don't think I've seen one that I've particularly disliked other than sort of Princess Mononoke, but again, that was kind of like the mid-7s, and still that's not bad in my head. I think it was like, it's weird, like Spirited Away is probably the one that comes after Princess Mononoke at the bottom. Like, I don't dislike the film, I just prefer some of the other ones. But no, it's a crazy amazing film, and I absolutely loved all of it. I loved that Nausicaa was at one with the sort of forest and things, and wanted to see points from both sides. She didn't want bloodshed. She wanted the world to be at peace. You know, there was a lot of dichotomy with greed, power, and all this type of thing. And it was just one of those films where, like, it was comfortable to watch. We got to see sort of like kaiju big monsters, and I think that was one of the elements that really gripped me. Like, the Omu were really cool. The big weapons of, I actually can't remember what the flip they're called now. So after a very quick Google, they're just called the God Warriors. There was a God Warrior that you saw an egg of in the film, and then it kind of flopped a little bit, but the insane firepower that it came out of it was intense. It looked a bit like I don't know, like a brown tarry Digimon randomly, but it got birthed too early. But I loved that you sort of saw this actual like Earth prior to this, and these things, I don't know really if they descended or appeared really, and just kind of burnt the world because humans were destroying the world. And it's a very applicable thing to today really. You know, there are some people, and a lot of people, that are doing the world a bunch of good, but there are unfortunately more people that are doing bad to the world than they are good. And, you know, I'm of a slight mind that I think we do just need a factory reset. You know, humans are a bit of a cancer on the earth, and I know that's quite melancholic for this video, but, you know, anytime you watch a film or TV show, humans are always at fault, really. If there's an alien race, we're straight up to just gung-ho firing at them, you know, trying to dissect them, use it to our advantage and stuff. We've got such a parasitic, cancerous nature, humans, and it's just not nice. And, you know, the insects were kind of there to stop the humans destroying the earth again, but then it was kind of Nice that you found underneath the earth and the forest, like the toxins didn't grow, a certain type of water was fine, and you could have almost had the humans live underneath there to a point. Um, but at the end, the Ohm kind of let Nausicaa go. They revived her, I think. I don't really know if they have reviving properties or anything, but they kind of revived her in the end as she sort of sacrificed herself, as a good main girl character does. She was out there performing miracles. You know, she was a very strong, independent female character, and that was really nice to see, especially for 1984. You know, she was doing bits and pieces in that film. Lord Yupa was just insanely impressed with her all throughout the film. Anytime he saw her, he was just like, "My God, she's doing this! Can't believe she's doing this herself!" Blah blah blah. And you know, it was just really nice to see. Um, Kushana, I thought was going to have a slight bit more character development than we saw. I mean, she kind of changed and became more interested in Nausicaa, but I wanted that little bit extra from her. Aspel did some really cool things. He saw the side of Nausicaa. They shared a nice few moments together. Aspel's mum, sister, and you know, friends and female friends and things on the ship helped escape Nausicaa when she was captured. All the planes and the technology, just this sort of fantastical, you know, weaponry and steampunk-esque design was just it was breathtaking. It's honestly one of the, because I think the next one's Laputa Castle in the Sky, and that was the first Studio Ghibli film I think I watched. But again, I watched it at a point where the older anime didn't appeal to me as much. So I'm looking forward to re-experiencing that. Although it's I think I think it's like half an hour longer than this one, but that had like the golem in it that was kind of like a weird plane. But that's something that always Studio Ghibli really do. Their characters are amazing. The world looks amazing and feels real, even though it's all fantasy. And then just always the sort of steampunk-esque weaponry, vehicles and things just always look amazing. So for me, we've started off with the first, a very strong contender. Now, I'm not of the great editing element where I can rank these and show you a list at the end, but at the moment, Nausicaa is the top, and I'll try and say where things go at the end of the episode, but at the moment, Nausicaa is the top, given that it's the only one, but yeah. I really hope you enjoyed this new series of me venturing into the Studio Ghibli films. If you've enjoyed the video, it really helps me if you just drop a like, drop a comment, subscribe, let me know what you think in the comments. Did you like Nausicaa and the Valley of the Wind? Is this a film that you go to? Is this a Studio Ghibli film that maybe you don't like? Let me know. I love to hear all the comments. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and tune in to the next episode of Studio Ghibli Reviews. Take care now. Have a wonderful day. Hey, thank you for watching the video. Click the button to keep watching, or click the other video for more videos, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.